Okay, this is what I'm working on today. 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And I'm going to be changing the seal on the steering gearbox. To get the nut off the Pitman arm, you're going to need a 33mm socket on a breaker bar, and on my breaker bar I put it inside another pipe because it's so hard to get off. You've got to use a huge arm, at least for mine, it's from Michigan. Then after that, it's going to make a huge pop. Here you are. Now, this is the Pitman arm puller I'm going to use. I've already sprayed it with a lot of PB Blaster and it's been soaking in power steering fluid for forever. So this is the Pitman arm, that's the nut right there. Put the Pitman arm puller on it, you just go over the Pitman arm, line it up, and tighten it down on the nut. You're going to want to make sure that, of course, it's on there very straight. You don't want to pull the Pitman arm at an angle. I already know this is going to be terribly difficult to pull just because of the amount of rust and time on this thing. And that steering stuff are always on there tight. But make sure to pull it straight and line it up so you have less angle on it. My next step that I'm not going to be able to show you because I'm going to be using both hands is I'm going to tighten this up real tight. Then I'm going to knock the Pitman arm with a hammer and tighten it up. Knock the Pitman arm with a hammer. Hopefully help shake it loose as we tighten it up. Okay. So I've gotten the thing to pop by using the Pitman arm remover. It was, of course, on there tremendously hard, lots of PB Blaster, and I used not only the breaker bar but then my extension bar, and even then, you know, don't keep your head beneath that thing because when it comes off it's going to explode. The other thing is, one thing that is wisdom is to leave the nut still on, which I did. I just took it off here with my hands, but leave the nut on while you still have the Pitman arm. Just loosen it up but keep it just on the end, you know, something like just barely on there, maybe a thread or two or three, something, because when that Pitman arm comes out you don't want it to shoot out and, you know, if you're underneath it, you know, crack you in the head or something. So keep the nut on until you pop it loose. After you pop it loose, then you can remove the nut entirely, and I'm going to put the Pitman arm remover on there to get the whole way. Now before I remove it the rest of the way, I've also taken a chance to scribe 2 marks for me, just line them back up on the shaft, just so I have a better likelihood of getting it back on in the angle that I've taken it off. I hear that they're keyed specially, so it'd be sort of hard for me to actually screw this up, but just in case, I have scribed some marks on there. Okay, now I'm going to put on the Pitman arm puller again, just pull it off the rest of the way. Hopefully the rest of the pulling part should go pretty easy. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the nut and the Pitman arm off. I took some paper towels on a screwdriver and I cleaned out the inside so you can see what the inside looks like. And I have to say, with all honesty, I was expecting to see a snap ring in there, but I just don't yet. But anyhow, that's what's inside there, and it's still even leaking even now. It's really slow. Okay, these are the pieces. You have one seal here, metal washer. I'm going to put those on the bottom. And you have this one, and the plastic washer. I'm going to put that one on top, and this is the snap ring that goes all the way in the bottom. So it's going to be stacked like this, in my opinion. I don't know if that's absolutely correct, though, because I've been unable to get the seal out. I don't see a snap ring whatsoever under this thing, which makes me wonder about the whole scenario, like if it ever had one in it. It does seem to have a metal washer. There's tons of space up in there. So I'm not going to really recommend this to anybody else, but I just plan to cram all those seals in there and then bolt it down and see what happens. Okay, this is what it looks like with the first seal crammed in. That was the one with the plastic backing. I'm going to go for the rubber seal with the metal washer behind it. Okay, this is what it looks like with the second seal on it. In retrospect, I probably should have used the rubber seal plus the metal seal first and used that plastic seal on the bottom, because right now the metal one just wants to fall out. So, and then I've got the snap ring, so I'm going to see if I have enough room to... Where did I put that metal washer? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so this one over top of this. And if there was just enough room, which it doesn't appear there will be, it's close, then I was going to use the snap ring to hold that one on. Right now I'm leaning towards the snap ring just by itself, but we'll see. Okay, here's what I ended up doing. Put in that seal, the top seal, and on the bottom put in the snap ring. Give you an idea of how much clearance there is left. There's not a whole lot. I don't think I would have been able to fit the metal washer and the snap ring, so I'm just using that snap ring as the washer. I got both seals in there though. Right now, no leaks. Still wet in there for all the PB blaster I was throwing on everything. But even just sitting still, without any pressure or even a drive, used to see it drip, drip, drip. Okay, but that's what it looks like. There's Pitman arm. The Pitman arm's pretty straightforward to put on. It's actually keyed, so you can't be off by too many, more than maybe like 25 degrees. So if you're relatively close to where you were, you should be able to line it up okay. I still did marks on mine, but even without that, you shouldn't be too far off. And then just slide it up there and bolt it on as tight as you can go. And there you can see this new seal hiding up there behind the shaft. It's got the snap ring on it. Okay.